Welcome to week 2 of Half-Baked. This series is all about documenting the never-ending pursuit of goals in life and business. So this week is going to be a pretty busy one. The weekend was kind of crazy. I feel like the last few days, all of the, delays that I talked about in the last episode lifted and things started to kind of flood in. So it was a crazy weekend in the best way. And this week is already following suit. So it is Monday right now, about 8 p.m. Finishing up my to-do list right now, trying to get set for the rest of the week, make sure we're on track for everything. But this week, I'm gonna try to show a bit more of a detailed view of like what I'm actually working on. So not just shots of me sitting and working, but like talking about the actual tasks that I'm taking care of and how things are progressing in the different businesses that I'm working on. So yeah, let's get into it. So it is Tuesday morning now, pretty late into the morning actually. Already sat down and got a little bit of work done before making breakfast, but need to do that now. I have a good number of tasks lined up today, mostly design work actually. Need to start designing a deck and then need to spend some time in Illustrator working on branding for a project. So gonna require a lot of focus. I feel like the most locked in I have to be is whenever I'm doing design work. So that'll be fun. Probably more this afternoon. This morning is gonna be about getting breakfast done, getting some more admin tasks done, and then heading to the gym in a bit. It did snow last night, which sucks, and it's actually still snowing now. So that really puts a damper on the day, but still be a good day, still be a productive day, and So one of the things that I'm working on this evening is a strategy deck for a client. We're about to kick off a 10-month ad campaign for one of their initiatives, and we need a very clear strategy and roadmap for how we're going to execute that, from all of the different regions we're targeting, to the budget, to the audiences, the creative, all of the testing plans, and outlining how we know, if a campaign is successful, what our KPIs are and things like that. But one of the things that I wanted to share and talk about is the importance of design whenever it comes to projects like this. It's really easy for me to take what I know and what I have planned and just dump it into a deck and not take too much time to format and make it look pretty. And obviously the content is very, very important for stuff like this, but people often underestimate the value of taking the time to make it look really nice. So whenever I'm doing something like this, I always brand it completely for the client. So even if it is more of a proposal, if it is an analysis that I'm performing, anything like that, any sort of deck that I am creating for the client, I brand it in their colors, fonts, logos, anything that I can use, even imagery that I might have, just because first it's going to help them adopt it because it feels like their own. It feels more comfortable and natural, but it also shows a level of attention and intention that a lot of times is missed. I've seen a lot of agencies produce decks and PDFs and whatever, and I look through it and it's like, okay, it's changed font 5 times, none of this is aligned, there are a ton of typos, just stuff like that, where even if it's subconscious, it's, devaluing the work that you put in. And I think that it's something that with the speed of which that people are moving, sometimes we give up some of that quality, and that's something that I'm never willing to do. So today, all I'm doing is branding the deck. I'm pulling their logos, assets, colors, everything, and taking the outline for the deck and putting it in a format that is going to be friendly and inviting to them, because it is their own. So there's nothing saying low tide on it. It's nothing like pushing my own name, pushing my own credit, because they're paying me. It's for them. And I want it to look nice, especially considering it'll likely be shared with different stakeholders. So that's another thing, is when it comes to reporting, even if I'm sharing a spreadsheet, I want it to communicate the data as clearly as it can, but also look really nice. It's totally possible to make spreadsheets look nice. So it's just something that I was thinking about as I was putting this together, and I wanted to note, because I think it's really important. And if you are someone who's, starting to work with clients, already working with clients, or, doing your own thing in any way too, take a moment to learn some design standards and learn how to use different things. You don't have to be, a pro at it, but if you can understand how to make things visually appealing, how to make things look very clean and very nice and well formatted, it makes such a huge impact, because you never know how much attention is being taken away from your work because someone's distracted by a formatting issue or a typo, or, colors looking weird or something like that. So just a note, as I'm working on this, it's probably going to be a bit of a later evening because I have this and something else that I'm working on, but been a pretty productive Tuesday so far, and got a lot of stuff lined up for the rest of the week, so I'll share more about that tomorrow. So I just got off a client kickoff call. It went really well. There's a lot of information to sort through, and I kind of compare it to a puzzle, because a lot of times clients will have different requirements and restrictions and timelines, and they have a lot of different stakeholders, and you have to work within all of that to build out a timeline and strategy that will actually work and do what they want it to do. So now I get to kind of sit and sift through all of those pieces, and try to connect everything together in a way that makes sense. So that's what I'm going to be doing when I get back from the gym, is putting together some notes on, how we're going to proceed, how things look for the next 6 weeks or so, and then kind of zoom out and look at the rest of the year, because this is a 10-month initiative. So it's a lot of planning, a lot of budgeting, projections, things like that, but also working with the creative to understand how we're going to do creative testing, what types of creative we want to place together first, and how we're going to kind of switch things out as we go along. One thing that we're doing is running a study, which means that once we get that live, we just kind of have to let it go. We can't touch the campaign, which to me kind of sucks because I like to constantly be optimizing, but we'll have some good data from it whenever it's done. But yeah, a very good call. And this afternoon is going to be pretty busy with working on that, but also some other things that I need to get done. So now I'm going to go to the gym. Alright, so it's almost 1 p.m. now. I just got off a call with Meta for a client initiative, and I need to send over some information to a tech pack designer that we're working with on a product, and then gotta go hit legs at the gym. It's one of those days where I'm kind of annoyed that I have to go to the gym because I have a lot of work to do, but I also know that it's probably the best thing that I could do for myself right now to keep that routine. And typically I come back feeling more clear mentally and more like motivated to lock in for the rest of the day. So gonna do it, even though I don't want to step away from the work right now. But sometimes the routine and the ritual is much more important than whatever flow I feel like I'm in right now. It is Saturday evening, which means I'm about to sit down and work on finishing up the edit of this video. So I wanted to take a moment to sit down and share something that I've been thinking about a lot recently. But first, past couple days, yesterday was Valentine's Day, so I didn't really record. We were just out celebrating that. And then today we were out, we went and got lunch with a friend, which was really great, and we just got back from that a bit ago. So hasn't been a whole lot going on. Still doing some work, but more just life things going on. So didn't record much, but I've been doing a lot of thinking lately about the aspect of speed and how it plays a role in life, in business and career and all of that. And specifically, I think a lot about how when paired with quality, speed is a skill. And I've seen this many, many times in my career and in life, just where I am fast at what I do, and that allows me to get ahead. So there are a couple of different ways to view it, and really it can be applied in a lot of different scenarios in anyone's life. But thinking like in a general life sense, it's like the faster you move and get things done and the less you procrastinate, the more room there is for opportunities, for movement in life and experience. So that's probably the simplest way that it has an impact. Other ways is like, there's a quote that I think I mentioned in my last video too, but it's like, if you waited until you had a perfect product, then you waited too long. And so a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs will talk about, just getting something out and like testing the market, testing the product, whatever it is, to see if you have something valuable, and just making that timeline from idea to execution very short. Because if something isn't going to work, you want to know that as quickly as possible. And you don't want to sit around and like poke at something for a long time, because then you're just losing out on the opportunity with the time that you have. So I think about it in those ways, but I especially see it when working with like clients and with partnerships, because with clients, you really want that time to value to be very, very short. And I've seen it, with communication where it's just like I'm responding to emails very quickly, I'm getting back to people. I compared it the other day to like playing hot potato, where it's like I don't want to be holding the task. Like I want it to be off of my plate as quickly as I can while still maintaining a very high quality of work. So if a client emails me and needs something and it's going to take me 2 minutes to sit there and respond, then I'm going to do it as fast as I can so that it's back to them. And that means that they're able to move forward however they need to, and they have the information they need. But it also means I don't have to dwell on it. I think that we tend to hold on to things and procrastinate, and then it becomes so much bigger than it actually is. And that's where like it applies to life too, where it's like, maybe you have a doctor's appointment that you need to call and make, and you've put it off for so long that now it feels so massive. When if you would have just done it like within a few hours of first thinking about it, it wouldn't have been a big deal and it could be finished by now. So it really applies to a lot of things. And I think about it in terms of opportunity as well. Like I mentioned, like the faster you move, the more opportunity. But it's also like when working with other people, especially other highly motivated people, they are typically moving quickly. And if, someone is looking for someone like you to do something, then you say, okay, I'm going to reach out to them, and you wait a few days or even a week to reach out, they have likely moved on at that point. And that's just an opportunity missed for you because you waited too long. It's the same thing with like job applications. Whenever companies put up jobs, like get on it, be quick, be very fast, and don't dwell on things. It also can help kind of eradicate like some of that fear. Like you don't really have time to be scared if you're moving very quickly. Now, again, it is a skill only when paired with quality. So when should you not implement speed is when you can't produce something at a high quality at a quick speed. And that's like across the board. It doesn't matter if it's an email that you didn't give enough thought to, like you didn't read theirs thoroughly enough, or you didn't like answer all their questions, or it's a job application that you didn't fill out, as well as you could have, or a presentation that you could have spent a little bit more time on and, had a bit of a higher quality. Because I think that when I do see speed, typically in, kind of the entrepreneur space, some people do it very, very well, but then I also see people who do it, but all of the work, all of the output is very sloppy. And then that is taking the value away from the speed. Like it doesn't matter as much that you did it in a day because it does not look good and it wasn't thought out at all. And it's probably not going to be a good indicator of what of whatever you're trying to produce. So like I said, I think about it a lot, and I implement it a lot. So I wanted to provide an example of when I use speed recently. Really, it's every single day. I'm always trying to be very, very quick with email responses, message responses, getting work done, anything like that. I try to move very, very fast. I want to be, in any space, I want to be the fastest person, but also the person producing the highest quality of work. And I feel like that is a skill that I've built over time. But an example of implementing this and it working very well and very in my favor was when I saw that the guys over at 28, which I mentioned in the last video, but been working with them, when they posted that they were needing someone to help them with Google Ads and ad campaigns. I saw it and immediately sat down to write an email without hesitation because I was like, I'm the person for that job. So I sat down, I wrote it, pitched myself, shot off the email, and immediately balls in their court. So if they're still thinking about it, which they probably were because they just posted it, if they're still thinking about it, I've caught them when I can really get their attention. Because again, entrepreneurs, business owners move very quickly. They have to. So if I'd waited a few days, they probably would have already read a ton of other emails from other people. They might have moved forward with other people and I might, not even get a second look. But I was fast. And then whenever they did respond, I gave availability that was like next day, day after that, like very, very quick so that I could match whatever speed they needed. And I think that was really key, was because one of the things when we got on a call that they asked was, how quickly do you think we can get ads up? And it was like, I will do it as soon as I have what I need. And that was just because I wanted the time to value to be very, very, very quick. So within, I think, a week of me sending that pitch for myself, we had a contract signed. A day or two later, we had ads up, and really the rest is history. And we're doing really, really cool stuff now. But that's just one example of many that I can give of like speed being a factor that really allowed me to get an opportunity that I didn't know I would be able to get and stand out from some other people who maybe, got stuck in that fear stage or stuck, contemplating like, what do I say? Am I really the right person? Like all of that, push it aside and just sent it. So that's my little, not rant, but that's what I have to say about speed. I'm sure that I'll talk about it again at some point because I think it is so important, but I think that's probably it for this video. Like I said, I'm gonna sit and edit it as soon as I press stop on this. So if you've made it this far, again, I am so, so, so grateful that you are here and that you are watching and that you are following this journey that I am on. If you are on your own journey, I wish you all of the best. Drop a comment and let me know what you're working on, what you're doing. But I will be back next week with a new episode.